Hello, I'm leesusss. Welcome back to Lord of the Rings War in the North, and so on forward.
I have received word through the sons of Elrond and the wandering companies telling of your valor at Fornost. You are to be commended for your skill and daring.
Yeah, by the way, for some reason, the game made me replay the boss fight. I don't know why. Didn't really make any difference, but there we go. Never mind. Gotta be careful where it saves, I guess. Where it says it's saving, where it doesn't. So, Sarnford is where the 9 riders attacked and killed many of the rangers here. We may be in danger here. Probably not. I think the riders have moved on. Maybe we should probably ask about Aragorn. Any news of Aragorn?
Have you heard anything of Aragorn? He was desperate to find a certain hobbit when we parted from him in Bree.
All I know is that Aragorn is rumored to have left Bree in the company of 4 hobbits of the Shire. I can only assume one of them is the hobbit he was seeking, and that they are now bound for Rivendell. There is worse news, however. On the night before they departed, the Prancing Pony Inn came under attack by unknown assailants.
So there we are. We're tracking the main part of the story as Frodo, Sam, Merry, and Pippin have left with Aragorn to get as far as they can to Rivendell and take the ring now. Are there more survivors of the attack here?
We had yet to make a count of the dead the night you sent us to Aragorn, but I thought there would be more survivors than this.
Some few are away patrolling the borders of the Shire, for even now we must attend to our duty. But sadly, many of those who were wounded in the attack died within days from some evil ailment. Even those whose wounds seemed minor. Perhaps Solana can tell you more.
The Black Breath. You may not strike a Nazgul, one of the Black Riders, without being cursed and dying yourself. I don't know what about danger here. We're ready to help.
We return to offer you what help we may. How can we best be of service?
Truthfully, I would be happy for the extra hands. But it is clear to me that you 3 have a greater destiny. You may be needed more urgently elsewhere.
Then what would you have us do?
I advise you to make your way to Rivendell. Aragorn will be eager to hear news of Agandaur, and he may have other tasks for you to perform. For now, the enemy seems to have turned away from the Shire.
And the Black Riders?
These Black Riders, the Nazgul, they've come a long way from Mordor. Aragorn hinted something big drew them here. Maybe you could tell us more?
I do know why they're here, but it is not for me to pass that knowledge on to others. Perhaps Aragorn or Elrond will tell you more when you reach Rivendell.
We're on our way, then.
Me? Travel to Rivendell? Hospitality of Elrond is legendary, and it's not like I have a better suggestion. Why not? But it's a long road between here and there. We best get started.
Perhaps there is something you can do for me on your way.
You have but to name it.
I sent 2 of my rangers, Kilaran and Luin, on patrol along the Brandywine River. They should have returned long before now. I am growing concerned for them.
They are both seasoned rangers who have served many years in this region. We can be certain they have not simply lost their way. From which direction would they be returning?
They were to follow the Brandywine north as far as the Great East Road, and from there to make their way back by passing through the Barrow Downs.
The Downs are just north of our position here.
Then we'll make our way north by way of the Barrow Downs.
Perhaps we will discover some trace of them as we travel.
You have my thanks. Eredan has great skill as a tracker. If Luin and Kilaran made it as far as the Downs, he will likely pick up their trail. Farewell and safe travels to you all.
I love the Barrow Downs. By the way, something I haven't mentioned before, but isn't it nice to have a dwarf that isn't Scottish? Nothing against the Scottish, but it's a bit typecasting, isn't it, really? He's also not comedy relief, which is nice. I'll never forgive John Rhys Davies, the bloody clown, and the Lord of the Rings films for making Gimli into a comedy piece. Anyway, in the Hobbit, it's fine because it's a children's book. You know, it's supposed to be funny. It's supposed to have serious, light and more serious sides to the dwarves, but oh, Lord of the Rings, used to make me angry. He's a prince, for goodness sake. He's a serious warrior, not a comedy piece. Right, so this is one of the poor fellows who's left here, and suffering from the Black Breath.
Are you hurt? You look well enough to me. If it's healing drafts you need, you can get them from Maradan. I have a dying man on my hands.
What's wrong with him?
Oh, he looks terrible.
We did say Orc.
What's wrong with him?
Wrong? I don't really know. His wound is minor, yet his life is slipping away. I fear he is suffering from the Black Breath.
The Black Breath?
The Black Breath? What is that?
It is some power wielded by the Black Riders, the 9 Nazgul. Their victims are stricken senseless, and without aid, they soon die. I've already lost 3 men to this curse. Elrond is the only victim who yet lives.
And what can we do?
Is there nothing we can do?
I hardly know. Drawing an arrow, stitching a wound, these things I have done countless times. The Black Breath is something I know only from the old rhymes my teacher taught me.
And what was the rhyme?
An old rhyme? Well, let's hear it then.
It was years ago. Let me think. I believe it ran something like this. When the Black Breath blows, and death's shadow grows, and all lights pass, come Athelas,
Athelas.
life to the dying.
There we go.
That's all I can recall.
What is Athelas?
What's this Athelas the rhyme speaks of?
An herb, commonly known as kingsfoil. It has little medicinal use, though some find it comforting for headaches and other small complaints.
Don't you have any?
Seems worth a try. Have you no Athelas?
No, I have none. You'll have to forgive me for neglecting to lay up a supply. But you see, no one bothered to tell me that the 9 ringwraiths would rise up from ancient legends to trouble us here. If I had Athelas, don't you think I would have used it by now?
Well, maybe I can find some for you.
Athelas has to grow somewhere.
It's a
Any
weed.
chance I could find some before it's too late?
Perhaps you could find some at that. The plant is not native to Middle-earth. It was brought to these shores from lost Numenor, and planted in the lands where our ancestors used to dwell, including the Borrowdowns to the north.
How will I know it?
How will I know Athelas should I come across it?
It'll be glowing.
The plant has many long, smooth leaves, but you might best find it by its scent, a sweet, pungent fragrance. The Borrowdowns hold precious few such plants.
If I find it, I'll return.
My road leads to the Barrow Downs. If I find Athelas growing there, I'll bring some back to you.
By the way, just because he's not Scottish, or not, at least if he's supposed to be a Scottish accent, it's not a very good one. He is regional. He's got quite a regional accent. The Athelas thing is from Lord of the Rings, from the book. It's Merry and oh my God, it's going to. I keep want to say Arwen, not Arwen. Oh my goodness! Come on! What is wrong with my brain? One of my favourite characters from Lord of the Rings. Eowyn, the Shield Maiden. Both her and Merry suffer from the Black Breath when they strike the Witch King of Angmar, and Eowyn kills him. But you know, it's they both suffer from it, and Aragorn heals them. He remembers the rhyme. He remembers the herb, and it's also said that the hands of the king are the hands of a healer, and it's a combination of things. He puts a blessing on it, and he heals them. So that's all from the book. But anyway, Hador will do repairs of weapons. I don't think he's got anything else to say for himself.
Ah, Master Farron, it's good to see you back. I thought you'd be on your way back to the Lonely Mountain
Oh
by
yes, he
now.
does actually.
And who could blame you were that so?
Well, I'm in this to the end. I'm not running off back to my mountain.
We dwarves have a saying. Faithless is he who says farewell when the road darkens. I came here to help protect the Shire, and that's what I intend to do still.
They say it is hard to change the mind of a dwarf. I, for one, am glad of that.
Now,
Farewell, Smith.
maybe I haven't found them all yet. In our items, we were finding there are some quest items that we found. Ah, here it is. I need to find a third artifact. I think maybe we'll find this. I thought you were supposed to find this in the... I'm a bit worried now, actually. Maybe I've missed this. So the work of Westerness are scraps of work that you find... I have to look this up. I thought you found all the pieces in Fornost, but maybe one of them's in the Barrow Downs. So when we've got them, we can get them made into something. But not yet unless I find all the pieces. Maybe I've missed that, that's annoying. It is possible to miss quests in this occasionally, especially with reloading. It can be a little bit buggy. Anyway, so he does repairs for us. And Maradan?
You're soon to be off again, are you? Well, I have a few things among our supplies that may help you on your way. Perhaps a few extra arrows for your quiver, and a few of Solana's healing drafts may come in very handy as well. Take a look.
And by the way, we can repeat areas. Once you've finished an area completely, like we did the previous section, you can go back to previous areas and play them again, and there will be minor enemies spawning all the way through. You can do a little bit of grinding. You don't need to, but you can. But it means also that if you've missed things, such as that, I can go back and find them. If it comes to it, if I have missed that third piece of Westerness, which I can't do anything with yet anyway, I'll go back and I will get it later. Anyway, let's have a look at the Nazgul attack first. Anyway,
It was a grim day when those Black Riders attacked. What do you make of it all?
Ah, well, I've seen many things in my day, evil in many forms. But I've never seen anything like we faced that day. So many lost. It's hard for an old man to see so many younger men slain. I wish I could. Well, there's nothing to be gained from wishing.
we must have revenge, though.
But there is something to be gained from action. We must have our revenge.
Revenge? That's all well and good.
True.
But those men will still be dead, won't they? Better that we do whatever we can to save others from their fate.
Let's do both. I guess you're right, though.
Aye, you've a good head on your shoulders. But it's not the Dwarven way to let a wrong go unavenged.
Grudge keeping.
Those men died trying to protect those who can't protect themselves. No one can ask for a better ending. But you still live. And there is a long and dangerous journey ahead of you. You must be prepared. Take a look at the stores I have on hand.
What have you got then, buddy? We won't spend too long shopping here. I can't afford very much anyway. But we'll see if we can get some very good equipment. Maybe there's something that's significantly better than what we've got. This is quite common. This is one that actually always seems to happen in this area here, which is quite nice. Finding twice as many coins. So in fact, this equipment is better. It's got a slot. But this bonus is very helpful. And having elf stones helps as well. By the way, also, something I've noticed when playing with multiplayer with Hellfire is that either in multiplayer you find more elf stones, or playing with the elf as a real character, you find more elf stones anyway, because we had ridiculous numbers when we were playing together, more than we could ever do anything with. But if we buy this, we're going to use it basically all of our money, so unless we find anything really good here, we're probably going to do that. I think it's just too much of a benefit. We'll find more armour as we go. You know, this looks good, but it's so minor, it's not very likely to happen. These, oh, they're all bows. Oh, nice. Oh, I love this. These 208 fire damage. These are as blunt, that's two-handed. Those are the one-handed goods. This is good as well, this is a really good sword. I think, though, that we're going to go and have a punch-up in the... how are these shields? Oh, look, that's really good. 191. They'll still be here though when we come back for them. There's the armoured gusset. I think we're going to buy the special hat, and then we're going to come back and buy up the shop later. We'll find stuff in the. We'll find stuff in the Barrow Downs anyway. So, anyway, so let's have a look at what we've got here. Back to being normal hat again. We can sell off that anyway. We don't really need to have... What's the... Oh, did we find those? I must have found those in the... Sorry, I know I said I wouldn't normally put you through shopping, but, you know, just because we might be able to buy something else. It shouldn't take too long. I can't buy very much. I haven't got any money. This is our using as a backup. Oh, is that the same? It is the same, but it's not damaged. Oh God. Okay, I've done my shopping. I didn't put it put you through it after all. So I've got the hat for double coins. I've got a nice new sword, which is significantly more powerful than what I had. And I've got some better armour. And everything else will just have to wait. I've got almost no money left. I've also stuck my stone of willpower in the sword. So we're about done around here. There's not much else we can do around here, really. It's quite a nice little camp over here. By the way, we have... didn't have to be here, but here's the gravestone for the... grave markers for the dead rangers. Here we have the Brandywine River. And over there you can look. Yes, Hobbiton is over there. Well, it's not Bag End and the rest. It's got out of my head what it's called. But it's Hobbit lands anyway. It's the Shire in that direction. Shame the clouds aren't moving. I've not really noticed that before with the sky, but there you go. Still nice looking. And some foxgloves. Super. Digitalis. So, we are... Those are less realistic, which is a shame. A lot of plants are quite good looking in this game. There you go. The little ranger camp's done. There's nothing else to do around here. So we're going to go off to the Barrow Downs, which is one of my favourite bits. I do love the look of the Barrow Downs. So, it's not included in many of the games. Many of the games skip whole chunks of what happens with in this area. Of course, it's in the Lord of the Rings. I think the reason it's skipped a lot in the books and in the games and the films is because soon after, the Barrow Downs follow on from a more not childish part of the book, but it feels more like The Hobbit, and it's the meeting with Tom Bombadil, who is a very strange character. He is... I know I'm going off track here, but I started talking about Lord of the Rings. So he is... he's a power, much like Gandalf and Sauron and various other ones like that. But he's decided not to become too enmeshed in the world. It makes him very powerful. He can do almost what he wants. It's like a fairyland almost, the way he can control the things around him. But because he's separated from the world, he's not connected with the world too much. It means he can do fantastic things, but it also means he's not too concerned with the world. He can't be hurt by it, but then he can't affect it too much in various ways either. He's taken the easy way out in some ways, if you like. He's living like a dreamer's life when he's not being an active part of the world. And it seems slightly strange when they meet him. It's a very otherworldly sort of Celtic fairy tale part of the book, and I think a lot of people skip over that. I don't know, I think they want to get onto the battles and everything else and the great cities in the books, and it doesn't work very well with the games. It is in one of the Lord of the Rings games, which I might play for you, Fellowship of the Ring, but we'll see about that in the future. Anyway, so because of that, the Barrow Downs, which follows on straight afterwards, gets missed. This is where Merry and Pippin and Sam and Frodo pass through, and they get caught by a Barrow Wight, and this is where they find their daggers. In the film, they're just given the daggers on Weathertop by Aragorn, but in fact they find them within the Barrows. And the reason that Frodo requires a new dagger, he gets one of the reasons he gets given Sting by Bilbo, is because when he's attacked on Weathertop and stabbed before he gets stabbed by the Nazgul, he tries to stab the Nazgul with his sword, with his knife, and it burns away. His short sword, it burns away. It burns away like wood. The blade burns away like wood. And that's partly what's stricken him. As well as being stabbed by the Morgul knife, he's also stricken by the Black Breath. Anyway, I know I get distracted, but you know, when I like this stuff, I just go off at a tangent. Forward, skip through or something. You know, if I start talking too much, just skip forward a little bit until I start doing things. It's a very slow episode, this one. The Barrow Downs. These hills were for many ages the burial place of men, especially the Dunedain of the lost kingdoms of Cardolan and Atherdain. During their war with the Witch King, the men of Cardolan took refuge here, hiding amongst the hills and the tombs. The Witch King responded by sending the evil spirits known as wights to inhabit the tombs. Excuse me. Oops. Oh, not yet. There. With the fall of the Witch King, the whites seem to disappear, but they are still remembered in darker legends. And I don't know, I just, I know I do a lot of zombie games, but I like undead tombs and searching through things like that. I like that in games, and this very much satisfies that need in me, and the look of it. The Haunted Hills.
I'm told the Barrow Downs are filled with ancient tombs. What do you know of them, Elf?
These tombs were made by the fathers of men in the depths of time. They were sacred to the men of Arnor, and they too buried their dead here, until their kingdom fell to the Witch King.
These hills have an evil reputation in the folklore of the Shire and Bree, but rangers travel here often without incident. Still, I feel a sense of unease. We must stay alert.
Look at this place. And one of the reasons I like it so much is because when I read the books and I pictured the Barrow Downs, this is exactly what I had in my mind. This is exactly what the details aren't too vivid, I don't think, in the books, but this is still what appeared in my mind. It fulfills exactly what I'm looking for. You know, the barren stones, the twisted trees. Are they dead or alive? I don't know. Everything, the mist everywhere, strange bolts of lightning. I didn't mention it before as well, but there's there's a good lot of sound effects in Fornost, which I forgot to point out, but you'll hear them here as well. And every now and then I'll try and stop so we don't miss them. And other little effects that you can find as well.
Well, Ranger, what have you found?
Rangers camped here perhaps 2 or 3 days past. These footprints could easily be those of Lewin and Kilaran.
Look where they may have gone. Here.
The tracks lead deeper into the towns.
Then we should follow them. Lead the way, Eridan.
No, I'm going to lead the way. I'm the dwarf. I'll lead the way. Thank you very much. Oh, look at this. Typical. Look. I buy a sword, and I immediately find something 100 times better. What a waste of a... Oh, no, it's a... Oh, no. Forget what I said. Because it's two-handed. That's why I saw the power in it. Okay. Panic over. I'd say I wasted my elf stone. But it's okay. We'll sell that off later. What do we have here? Just stones. And here it is, look. Glowing. It's Athelas. That was it. That was hard to do, wasn't it? That's the quest done. We could go back now if we want to. But of course we won't. And a great mace, I presume, is also a two-hander. It is. Oh, so many two-handed weapons. That's when I don't want them. I'm sure I'm not finding any more than normal, but it seems like I am.
I don't like the looks of this fog one bit.
And I honestly thought something was terrible going to happen when I met the fog. What I did first when I came here is I started smashing these. Because I thought maybe they're somehow causing the fog to be dangerous. But no, they're just gravestones. So of course, we're in a place that we may be attacked by the undead. But I'm going to aggravate them anyway by smashing all the cairns that are around here. That's like a great idea.
So this is truly our best route? Through a graveyard?
Calm down. Even Gimli wasn't this worried on the paths of the dead. Be more keen, Mr. Dwarf. Here they come, Mr. Shamblers. in, little fellas. Get over here. By the way, I just took that guy's head off, just to let you know. And it is possible to shoot their heads off. And the funniest thing when you shoot their heads off, particularly the archers, is they then can't see you. So they sort of shamble around trying to see what's around them. Sort of generally swinging, trying to work out what's going on. His head. A bit of blood coming out there. Oh dear. I do love the undeads in here. What that whispering? Ooh. A reinforced shield, huh? That is indeed better. How does it look? Not bad looking. It's a bit small, but it looks tough.